Well, welcome to Pop Palace. My name is Jack. I'm the
Hey.
host. At Pop Palace, we celebrate iconic women, queer people in the pop music and culture space. So, one thing we like to do to start it out is have our guests introduce themselves and tell us one of your earliest memories in music.
Ooh, okay. Hi, my name is Izzy Ardenn. Pronouns are she, her. And one of my earliest memories is when I was 7. I was gifted a journal by my mom, and I used it as my first songwriting book. And it was before I was good at handwriting, so I had my mom transcribe all my lyrics for me.
Gee, that's so cute. Do
Oh,
you
yeah,
still
for
have the
sure.
notebook? Is it
Pretty
filled
much,
all the
yeah.
way? Yeah, that's
Cool.
so sweet. I love that.
hmm
So I've been listening to Sin City. I'm obsessed. Can you give us a
Thank
little
you.
sneak peek inside the creation of the single?
Yes, absolutely. So I approached this from a pop sort of aspect first, but I had been working alongside an EDM producer. So I think it kind of took on this new space for me. I have usually worked with pop producers only, so it was cool to have that whole new influence.
Yeah, definitely. How did that come about? Were you like intentionally seeking an EDM producer, or did it just like kind of naturally evolve to that?
No, yeah, it was totally unintentional. I tend to just network with like any and all producers, and I guess it's kind of just throwing stuff at the wall until one of them sticks and reaches back out.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was very, had a lot of synergy with that connection. It was nice, yeah.
that's awesome. So,
hmm
in your own personal listening habits, what do you think like your top three genres would be?
Ooh, okay. Definitely like synth pop. Like I love The Weeknd. I love club music. Like I love like
Mm-hmm.
Kim Petras, Brooke Candy, Lazique. She's an artist out in London. Um, and sometimes I like to just listen to like jazz or music with no lyrics. I think sometimes is like, like when you're at a perfume counter and you get the coffee beans to cleanse your palate.
Yeah.
That's jazz for me. Yeah.
No, I definitely feel that. It's like so calming to me too.
Yeah.
So can you give us a little insight on your like early beginnings of starting your music career? What like inspired you to start music and what's kept you going?
Yeah, totally. I was enrolled in acting school for a while, and I remember just being in class and like thinking of lyrics that I was gonna, write when I got back home from school. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that was around 2020. I think that was definitely um, my first sign to really take this seriously as a career. And I'm very all or nothing, so I obviously dropped out of acting school. And ever since then, it's just been, yeah.
That's awesome. Do you have any interest in acting still?
Oh yeah, definitely. I want to pull Lady Gaga and do a little American Horror Story side quest at some point.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah.
Um, would you ever do like a music video where it's like like you're acting in it? Not just like I know there's like everyone a lot of people are acting in their own music videos, but
Right,
like a
yeah.
storyline, like a little short film.
Yeah, I would totally do that. That's
Yeah.
it's definitely something I'd be down for
Okay,
sure.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
How does being a lesbian affect your music and your place in the music industry?
Very good and layered question. Well, before I officially came out, I I definitely noticed a difference, especially with men in the industry, how they would approach, these work connections. I feel like there was a lot of unspoken ulterior motives on their part. And I think now that I'm very open about my sexuality and also very mask presenting, I feel very liberated in knowing that any connections I make are very genuine, and
Hmm.
it's so nice to not have to second guess people's intentions.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Do you feel pressure to represent the queer community in a certain way, or do you feel free to just be you?
Good question. Yeah, no, I definitely want to be an influence and show, the community that you can be authentic and still, achieve anything you want. I really want to take music to the highest possible place. So, Yeah, I definitely want to show people that you don't have to conform a certain way if you don't want to, and you can just be you.
Definitely. If you had like an unlimited budget and nothing holding you back, what is like the ultimate music project or like dream for you? Like for me
Oh, wow.
personally, it's like having my own Pop Palace music festival with just gay
Oh,
people.
that would be so fun. Oh my gosh, no straights allowed. You have to
No,
watch from over the
literally.
fence.
Right? Yeah, I'm like the fence is super tall, so you have to like
Yeah,
look over on your tippy toes.
I'm crying with like ladders and
No,
binoculars.
literally.
Um, Good question. Yeah, I think the first person that comes to mind is Mike Dean. He's the synth god. I would totally just lock in with him. I don't care what his price is, like I'll pay it. We'll get a whole synth album going. And I would definitely have some dream features on there too. I'd knock them all out. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Have there been any moments where you've been doing music and you're like almost like amazed at yourself that you're like, I can really do this. I'm actually capable of this. I feel like some people have a lot of imposter syndrome, especially
Mm,
in music, because we don't see a lot of like the in between being a megastar or like playing at a club. We don't see like
right.
the difference between that. So do you ever have struggle with imposter syndrome?
Yeah, I mean, there have definitely been times where like I've put out a single and it doesn't do immediately as good as I expect. I think being in this kind of in between stage has really taught me consistency and that also, that also like sometimes the song like that you didn't think was gonna pop off is gonna pop off,
Mm-hmm.
or sometimes the timing is different. Like I put out my song Playboys in February, and just like last week, some like J-pop star competing in Thailand used it, and it's like exploding
That's
now. And I'm like,
awesome.
it was crazy. I was like, is this real life? But it's just like, yeah, it's moments like that that definitely I think ease the imposter syndrome. But yeah, I think I feel it. I would think, most creatives do at some point.
Yeah, definitely. That's so cool though. Like you're not even on the same continent and there's listening and
Right,
playing your
right,
music. Like that's so
yeah.
cool.
And then
Uh,
all the comments on YouTube, I have to like translate from Japanese. I'm like, wait, I'm
Stop.
trying.
I love that. That's so
Yeah,
fun.
it's so cool.
Have you had any moments where you've been like starstruck or like shocked that you've been in a room or been with a certain person?
Oh, most definitely. I think when I lived out in LA, I got invited to record at Spotify headquarters, and that was just like I had to like manually pick my job off the floor, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my God, all this for me. Um, Also, recently, one of my dream collaborators, Anthony Kilhofer, followed me on Instagram, and I was fangirling a little bit because he's just produced some of the most incredible songs out there.
Mm-hmm. I fangirl like even if someone likes my comment on Instagram, I'm like freaking out.
Me too. Paris Hilton did that once, and I was like, let me screenshot.
Stop.
I
I would
will.
literally make that a t-shirt. That's insane.
That's a good idea. I should print that out.
Wait, yeah, I would wear one.
I'll send it to you.
One time so my first season of the podcast was all about Madonna and I
Love
posted a
her.
picture from her like very early stylist and photographer Maripol and
Yeah,
she commented on my picture and I literally was at work and I was literally like screaming at work. I work at Lush, so like it's very
I love
upbeat
Lush.
anyways. And I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
everyone pay attention to me. Someone that
Everyone,
Madonna
stop what you're
knows
doing.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
drop your bath bombs
No,
immediately.
literally. I was like, nothing matters.
Yeah,
Yeah. I love those
iconic.
moments.
Me too.
So, are you not in LA anymore? Where are you residing?
I'm in Florida currently, and
Okay.
I definitely plan on going back to LA. It's not very queer out here.
Yeah, I'm in
It's a little
Oklahoma.
yeehaw.
Yeah,
Okay, so you get
yeah,
it.
I get
Yeah.
it. I totally get it. I'm lucky enough to be in Oklahoma City, so there's like a
Okay, yeah.
metropolitan and like multiple people,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
go a little like 10 minutes or 30 minutes out of it, I'm like,
Yeah.
bring me back.
No, literally. I'm pretty close to Jacksonville, so I definitely have there's like some bars that do drag and there's some queer spaces. But yeah, it's nothing comparable to LA, so
Are
I'll
you
be back
from
out there
Florida?
soon. No, I'm from Long Island originally.
Oh, okay. Do you find
Yeah.
inspiration in different places that you've lived?
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. Yeah, I've lived in a lot of places. I think Brooklyn gave me the most inspiration though. I think you're just so immersed in so many different cultures in like one tight-knit little spot
Mm-hmm.
out there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
How has Florida influenced your creativity lately?
I've definitely been on my like Ethel Cain BS out here, like the
Yes.
Spanish moss and the swamps. I'm like, you know what,
Mm-hmm.
we could do something with this.
No,
I think
definitely.
yeah, I think visually it's been very inspiring. Just because like I've lived in a lot of like you said, like metropolitan areas, and I haven't really connected with nature in a way that I am now out here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, what is next for you? Do you have anything exciting coming up or anything new that you want to talk about?
Yeah, so Sin City is actually the first single on my rollout for my debut album.
Woohoo!
I
Yay!
know. That's been in the works for a while. I'm very perfectionist when it comes to my music, especially when it's like a really big body project like
Mm-hmm.
this. But I can say that the next single is going to be out very soon. I'm gonna start rollout for that probably in a week or two. So
Awesome. I'm
yeah,
excited. How long,
thanks.
when was like the very first like thought for a song that's going to be on the album? How long has this been in the works?
Um, I decided to make an album a little bit before I moved, so probably like late January, early February. I've been it started as kind of just an abstract thought. I was like, yeah, an album would be cool. And then I realized that like I think I underestimate the connections I have a lot, and I'm like, you know what? I really actually do have the resources to do this, and it's so hard for me as like a very like independent person, like intrinsically like I want to do everything myself, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's like really nice when you do reach out for help and you're like, hey, I'm doing this thing and I want you to be a part of it. And then like when people are like, yes, I'm like, oh my God, really? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do it. So
Yes.
it's been a lot of that. Yeah.
Has it been linear or is this just kind of sporadic, like where you're reaching out and this person says yes, or you don't hear anything back and you're just like a little bit of everything?
Yeah, it's not been linear. It's been very much up and down. I think especially like me as a person, I actually like came out amidst making this album so far. So even that has had such a big influence on like the trajectory of the progress. I've done a lot of like, you know, grouping together singles and saying like, okay, this is like a portion of the album, and then just scrapping them and starting over as soon
Mm-hmm.
as I feel like they don't represent me anymore. And yeah, even with reaching out to people, you know, everyone's on their own schedule and time frame, so it's just one of those things you have to learn to like go with other people's flow sometimes and then make that your own flow. Like I
Yeah.
have producers that are in college, producers that, you know, have full-time jobs or even families, so it's
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, you just it's give and take.
But that's so the cool thing about music is like it could be somebody from across the world
Yeah,
that's has their own life and their own thing going on that's like helping you
right.
create this piece of art. And I just think that
Yeah,
that's just like so cool to me, like the human connection
yeah.
aspect and how many
Hmm.
like different thoughts or people can come in to make even one single.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. It's nice that like yeah, it's a little community. Like when you look at an album and you see all the song credits or the writing credits, you're like, oh my God, like there was 30 people working
Mm-hmm.
on this one song, and it's like, yeah, it makes you look at it from a different perspective, I think.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So when you're building this album, do you have like a world in your mind where you can like picture what kind of like not even environment, but do you have like colors or things you associate with the album? Could you give us a little sneak into that?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's kind of where that like up and down has definitely taken me. I
Mm-hmm.
think when I first moved out here, I was like, okay, everything's going to be neutrals and green and it's going to be really swampy. And then I also kind of, I don't know, I got so immersed in that. And then my Aries moon kicked in and I was like, never mind, I hate this. So we're going to like do something totally different.
Yeah.
And then it was all neon. And I think I'm kind of in the process right now of like really kind of trying to like, you know, go inward and find
Mm-hmm.
that for the third time, but I think third time's the charm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Um, if okay, this is really kind of obscure, but if you
Mhm.
could build a candle with three notes for the album that like represent the album, something like maybe like smells that remind you of it, what would those
Yeah.
be?
Oh, I love this. I would say like pine, um, hmm, vanilla, and patchouli.
Ooh, yum. I
Yeah.
love it. So what do you hope people feel or take away from when they're listening to your music? Is there like a certain way that you want them to feel, or is it just like good listening?
Yeah, music for me is like definitely my form of escapism. And
Mm-hmm.
when I listen to my music and when I make it, especially when I'm recording, I'm just time stands still and I'm kind of just transported to this place where like, all the noise is silenced for a little bit. And yeah, I hope my listeners feel like that too. I want it to be really transcending and just, take them out of whatever headspace they're in if they need to pick me up or if they need to feel like they're seen and heard and like someone understands how they feel.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Have you had any like fan interactions that have stuck with you over the years?
Yeah, definitely. I actually have a pretty big group chat. It's called Girls, Gays, and Days, and it's all of
Cute.
yeah, it's like all of my like very like VIP favorite fans, like the people
Mm-hmm.
that I notice interact the most. I'll add them to my group chat, and yeah, one of them in particular, shout out Megan. Hopefully
Hey,
she's watching and
Megan.
listening. She she's really active in my group chat, and she said to me on multiple occasions just how big my impact is that I can bring together like all these people and build this community. And yeah, I mean, I think that's where the imposter syndrome comes in sometimes because I don't really realize often that, like, yeah, wow, I really did bring together like 180 people and they're all in this group chat and we talk about our feelings and advice. And it's like such a safe space that I've managed to curate. And it's, yeah, stuff like that really makes me feel like everything's like worth it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing. I love stuff like that. Like I've had a few people like repost the podcast and be like,
Hmm.
OMG, I loved listening. And I'm like, y'all don't
Yeah.
understand how that makes me feel. Like, I'm not just
Exactly.
sending this out into the void. Like, people actually listen and care.
Exactly. No, that's how I feel when I release music. I'm like, all right, Boyd,
Yeah, I'm
is
like,
anyone gonna hear
here's another one. But
it? Yeah,
okay, so I have one final question I ask everybody on Pop Palace.
sure.
So going off like the palace theme, what in your royal court, if you could have like two or three musical influences sitting by you on your throne, who would they be? Or it could be
Wow. Well,
idols. Your music doesn't have to be like influenced by them. They could just be people you love.
okay. Well, obviously, Britney Spears has to be
Mm-hmm.
there. The true princess of pop. Um, and then I'd have to have The Weeknd sitting next to me too. I feel like he definitely spills some crazy tea. I know that man likes
Uh-huh.
drama. I
No,
just know
literally.
it. So I feel like me, Abel, and Brittany would be just kikiing on our
Mm-hmm.
thrones all day, and the music that would come out of that space would be chef's
That
kiss.
would be insane. It'd be next level.
Yeah, like
Yes.
club pop, synth pop mix. Like, oh my God.
Ugh, need it.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so much for joining me. It was so lovely to meet you. Sorry about the technical difficulties.
it happens to the
Um,
best of us.
but we made it through.
Yeah.
I'll